Please don't watch this next section until you're done watching part 8. Thank you. Now that we've reached the end part of this series of video clips, it's time to ask the important question, what's the whole point to it all? The main point is to understand that we really don't have a good idea of what God is really all about. We have far too many differing ideas or opinions of what God is, yet we rarely take the time to discover more about what God really wants from us, which is truly very different than what we've been told in the past. In order to help you learn more about the reality of God, let's look at some things you may not have given enough credit to, or that you may have missed altogether. God doesn't intervene in our lives or try to control it in any way. God is there to help guide us to the best possible life we can live. However, in the end, it's our life to live however we choose to do so. Note that we were given free will so that we can work to better understand and explore our world and our own lives. God does not have a body, mind, or form of any kind. God was given these things by the church to make us more connected to their idea of God. Understand, God was made in man's image, not the other way around. There's so much more to God. In the end, a body actually limits God. God also doesn't allow things to happen in our world. Things happen or don't happen because we choose to make it or allow it to happen or not. All the misery that exists is because we as a people have taken a wrong path. God, however, will always be there to try and get us on the right one. The best way we can understand God is to use ideas like guiding force. To call God a being is again to limit God. Truth be told, God is a part of every last thing in the entire universe. Since God is a part of us, God will always be with us in our lives, no matter what happens. God encouraged us to create the church as a place of community, learning, and discovery. At no point should we work to get rid of it. That doesn't mean we can leave it the way it is now. The church needs to be overhauled and reworked to become what it was meant to be. Ideas such as good and evil are false value judgments. What's good for one will be evil for another. Plus, in all good, there's usually some evil, and in all evil, there's also usually some good. In the end, it's far better to look at all of life as a lesson and work to understand what the lesson that's being taught is all about. If you want a better way to look at ideas such as good and evil, focus instead on a more realistic option. Looking at things only as helpful to yourself and others or harmful to yourself and others is much better and dramatically more accurate because it's actually based on truth, while the others are based on judgments. Also, God resides in the hearts of all living beings, big and small. God works to guide them all to the best that they're capable of. No creature in God's universe is any more or less than any other. They all play an important part somewhere. The trick is to learn to play our parts properly. All of the gifts, skills, and abilities we possess in life are there for a reason. Like everything else, they're part of a big lesson we have yet to learn. Only by embracing who and what we really are can we live the life we were meant to live. All of the fear we experience was implanted into us by the church in the distant past. The best way to honor God is to live our lives to the best of our own ability. God doesn't need or want our subservience. Doing that actually prevents us from living our life and is more akin to a slap in God's face. If we were meant to follow God blindly, we wouldn't have been given eyes, a mind, or the ability to think at all. To help clarify, think of it like lending a friend $100. If they take the money and blow it on drugs or alcohol, how would you feel? If they took that money and made it grow into something much better that they could live off the rest of their lives, not like winning the lottery, how proud would you feel then? That's basically how God works. We are all given life, and we have the right to squander it if we choose, in which God will be disappointed but will still be there for us. or we can do something amazing with it and work to make it more than what we were originally given. When that happens, God just beams with pride for us. On that same note, false pride is the sin. Real pride is that wonderful contented feeling we get from a job well done or whatnot. True pride is one of life's great miracles. That true pride you feel, that's God beaming pride at you for living your own life to the fullest at that exact moment in time. Just don't think for a second that one moment in time makes a lifetime. The trick to really living life is to have that great contented feeling at all times. When we can learn to do that, then we're truly basking in God's radiance. Notice how easily we get that feeling when helping others in need? That's a clue. Also understand, God is there working to inspire people every day. Artists, scientists, philosophers, teachers, athletes, all those great discoveries in life is God working to help us understand more of the world we live in. After all, the more of it that we can understand, the better we'll be able to understand ourselves. You should also understand that everything in life happens for a reason. The trick is that we need to take the time to understand what that reason is. The more we work to understand those lessons, the more we'll understand of ourselves. That in turn will help us to discover more about the great mystery that is God. To help clear up a major point of confusion for many people, God doesn't intervene in the lives of people. The evil things that we see happen in the world occur because we allow them to happen. God tries to help by shining a light on the events and tries to teach us not to allow it to happen anymore. Far too often, they're allowed to happen because we as a people are waiting for God to swoop down and fix it for us. Remember, God is not a being. God can only help guide our lives, not control them. If we want to see those things stop in the world, we're the ones who need to take steps to make it happen. This doesn't mean going out and risking our lives to confront evil people. It does, however, mean doing what's in our own individual power to do. As an example, we spent the time, money, and effort to make these videos in order to help you learn more about yourself and God. This is what was in our ability to do. The trick is to try and find things you can do within your own life that will make a difference. An individual voice may not be heard by the masses, however, a million voices surely will be, which always starts with just one. Sometimes, even the smallest of events can work to create big effects. Truthfully, you won't know till you try. It's not success or failure that's important, it's the effort and attempt you put into it that really matters. Remember, God is within your heart. If you want to discover more about God, then look within. Don't look to others to give you the answers. Understand also, you're not alone in this world. Many people are at the same place in life as you are. By working together, you can work to better understand God. Also note, just because someone claims to know more doesn't mean that they do. Trust in your heart in all things. Once you can truly do that, it will never fail you. Lastly, understand God is with you and truly loves you. Thank you for taking time out of your busy life to come and watch this. It really is appreciated. Thank you. Also, coming soon to Mindmunchies, How Your Belief in God Defines Your Life, Lesson number 1 in the Progression of Learning Revisited, and many, many more. Please stay tuned for them. And again, thank you.